have you had a moment when in a complicated problem where quite suddenly the thing comes into your head and you're almost sure you've got to be right?
Oh yes,
I mean, this is a great.
Oh God, yeah. And then you try to figure out what the conditions were of that moment that you can do it again. For example, I worked out the theory of helium once, and suddenly saw everything. I've been struggling for 2 years, and suddenly saw everything.
And
what was
the
one
time
afternoon,
scale?
and I can remember everything about it, by the way. It's psychologically funny. You can remember the color of the paper you were writing on. Isn't that true? And the room and everything else. And then you wonder, what's the psychological condition? Well, I know at that particular time, I simply looked up and I said, wait a minute. It can't be quite that difficult. It must be very easy. I'll stand back and I'll just treat it very lightly. I'll just tap it and it'll say bunk, bunk, and there it was. So how many times since then I'm walking on the beach and I said, well, look, it can't be so complicated. Tap it, tap, nothing happens.
Nothing happens,
So the lights are great, but the secret way, what's the condition?
It's that missing bit in the brain, isn't it?
Right.
That suddenly lights up. And
I have no idea. I've thought about it because some man suggested I think about that. Because if I can only figure out the formula for what condition to be in to get good ideas, I'd be much more efficient and more happy. You know? So I've often paid attention to what the condition is, and I've never found any correlations with anything. By the way, it's the delight, it's absolute ecstasy. You just go absolutely wild.
And how long